That's right. Fail big. You only live once, so do what you feel passionate about. Take chances. Don't be afraid to fail. There's an old IQ test, was 9 dots, and you had to draw 5 lines with a pencil within these 9 dots without lifting the pencil. The only way to do it was to go outside the box. So don't be afraid to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. So have dreams, but have goals. Life goals, yearly goals, monthly goals, daily goals. And understand that to achieve these goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. In order to achieve your goals, you must apply discipline and consistency every day, not just on Tuesday and miss a few days. You have to work at it every day. You have to plan every day. You've heard the saying, we don't plan to fail, we fail to plan. Hard work works.
Waiting all day for Sunday night. It's your Big 3 streaming crew. I'm BG. Below me down there is Kels with the Intels, and below her is Bob, the Cannabis Cowboy. Welcome everybody to a special primetime edition of the Big 3 for Sunday night football. How we doing, folks? How you doing, Kels?
I'm good. My sinuses is off the chain.
Yeah.
It's that time of year.
Yeah.
That time of year.
I know it's gotten cooler up here in the Pacific Northwest too as well. I'm like, damn, summer, where did you go? How's the weather out there in big Colorado, Bob?
Hey, let me tell you, man, as soon as October comes around, man, I start feeling really good. Not because I was born on Devil's Night, the night before Halloween, but October, even in Miami, always was really, really nice growing up. When it was colder back then than it is now, for sure. The change in weather was always nice. I used to be able to finally wear my starter jacket for no apparent reason back then. But living out here in Denver, man, it's even better. All the leaves are changing colors. It's gorgeous out here. And it's just a reminder that, hey, man, summer goes by pretty quick out here. It lasts basically just as long as winter, but it feels like it's so much shorter.
How's the weather out there, Kales, with your sinuses?
It's bipolar, It's been raining a lot, then it's cool, then the sun and the heat want to come, then it rains again. So yeah, that's where we at.
All right. Let's go ahead. Let's get started.
All right.
Yeah, we're streaming live on 3 platforms. We're live on Facebook, live on LinkedIn, and on YouTube. It's the Big 3 pregame show. Very important NFC matchup to game as the Packers stroll into AT&T Stadium on prime time. Kills, what kind of intels can you drop on us right out the gate here for the prime time matchup?
Okay, so let's see. This game marks the first time that they played on Sunday Night Football in Texas. They played Sunday Night Football games in 2008 and 2010, but both games was at Lambeau Field. Let's see.
Well, I do know that they go ahead.
So right now, the Cowboys currently have $30,877,826 in cap space. Javonte Williams is entering week 4, where he ranks among other running backs, minimum of 25 carries, 53.49 success. He ranks first, 38.88%. First down, he ranks first. 0.11 EPA per rush, he ranks fourth. 4.64 EPA per play, he ranks fifth. 5.28 yards per carry, he ranks ninth. He is On pace to run for 1,286 yards this season. The Cowboys likely starting offense. I haven't got the offensive line yet for tonight. Left tackle, Tyler Guyton. Left guard, Tyler Smith. Center, Brock Hoffman. Right guard, TJ Bass. Right tackle, Terrence Steele. And this game is titled Welcome to the Battle of the Last Minute Trade.
Ooh, welcome to the battle of the last minute trade. As
Yeah,
we heard news that Bob, I don't know how you feel about this. The Cowboys not doing a tribute for Micah, and Micah kind of felt some kind of way, and Jerry was basically like, "No." I mean, do you think that the Cowboys should have did some kind of tribute, like Kels is saying, the last minute trade deal for Micah here?
I mean, I think we expect really a lot. We expect a lot from Jerry, and this is the kind of shit you should not expect. You shouldn't expect him to honor a guy who on the open internet said, "I don't want to be part of this organization anymore." Period. End of story. I think people forgot about that. I think people also look at that as a bargaining tactic for contracts, which it can be at sometimes, but you've got to be careful what you say when you are bargaining for that contract. If you decide to say, "I do not want to be part of the Cowboys organization anymore," then anything that happens after that should not be a surprise to you. And I don't feel bad for the guy. He's making $48 million, probably going to disappear in the playoffs like it did with us. I don't know, maybe not, but we're not going to pay him. If we had him still, we wouldn't have been able to pay 5 people that we already got paid. So,
I'm not looking at it from that point of view. I'm looking at what historical stats has he made with the team during the 4.5 years that
I don't know. He had 11.5 sacks like 3 years in a row or something like that.
1 sack in 4 playoff games, though.
I understand that part. I'm saying in the regular season.
There's a value in both of that, though. What you're saying, BG, is true. That's worth it to some people.
But the thing is, did he break a Cowboys record in that? No.
Yeah, I guess that might be something that he'd be like, we might have to give him a tribute if he did some shit like that.
Right. And that's like what they did with Zeke. Zeke broke a lot of records within the Cowboys and within the league. So I get that he is in due for a video montage. I'm okay if they say on that nice $250 million jumbotrons that they have and all that stuff that they have. Thank you, Micah, for your services. Now let's play ball. That's fine. But as far as like a video montage, that's for like something that you have done, like what a DeMarcus Ware has done, what Emmitt Smith has done, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin. I could list players that has done more as far as breaking Cowboy stats and NFL stats.
Yeah.
Than a Michael Parsons.
We also have to take into account the fact that the fan base on the decision, only on the decision, is pretty much split. I think we could probably say half of us are okay with it and the other half are maybe a little upset that he's gone. But no matter what, I don't think anybody sitting in those stands today in AT&T Stadium wants to see the opposite team's defensive end be honored for any reason whatsoever. We're going to hear about it all week. We already heard about it for the last 4 days anyway when people were talking about this game. So there's no sense doing a tribute, I don't think. Again, like Kels is saying, if it was something that he accomplished in a big way, I think that might be something worth talking about. But at this point, he's an ex-Cowboy who decided he didn't want to be a Cowboy in his 5th year. Move on.
Deuces. Bye-bye. Thank you for the $19 million that we took back from your 5th year option.
With that being said, before Kales gets into any more of her intels, let's just throw it around the board. Who has a better game tonight, Kenny Clark or Micah Parsons? We want to hear from y'all in the comments below because they're going to evaluate that depending on who wins and say if we win, and obviously it was a great trade for Jerry and getting rid of Micah, and Kenny Clark is the better defender, yada, yada, yada. But if we lose, on the other hand, and Micah gets the deck a couple of times and they stop the run, they're going to be like, Jerry, why'd you get rid of him? But the Packers still own the Cowboys at AT&T Stadium. So let me hear from you first, Kels. Do you think Micah has a better game or Kenny Clark in terms of defensively?
I think it's going to be a little bit of both because I look at what Kenny Clark has brought to the team for the short amount of time that he's been here. He has made an impact with the team. So I think it's going to be a little bit of both.
All right,
It's hard to
Bob.
say which one is going to have more than the other, because I mean, statistically, both of them have very good stats after the trade and everything. So there's
Here's my
still
concern. Here's my concern right here. Josh Jacobs, 58 carries, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns. Should the Packers get this run game going? I mean, that's why we essentially traded for a Kenny Clark and got rid of Micah, was so we could stop the run, because Jerry said we couldn't stop the run with Micah. Bob, who do you think, Kenny Clark or Micah Parsons?
I think it's pretty tough at this at any point to compare a defensive tackle to a defensive end. Statistically, what you're looking for from an end is to make these amazing plays, come off the edge, and sack a quarterback. The stuff a DT does is loveless. It's you're just eating up blocks all day long. You are chewing up humans in order to pick them up so that something else can happen for another player on the team. And if you're really lucky, you plug the hole up. And if you're really, really lucky, you get past the center somehow and make it to a sack. I just don't think it's just not as glamorous of a position as a defensive tackle. So, who's going to make a splashier play? If Parsons makes one sack today and our defensive tackle stops 4 runs, that one sack is going to still be looking better to most people. So, I don't know. I think it's sort of like a losing situation, but I feel like both of them are going to do their job. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, Micah Parsons has 1.5 sacks now currently as a Packer, and Kenny Clark has also a sack. So I don't know if Kenny Clark gets a sack tonight and Micah don't. I mean, yeah, it's not cool to compare players, but that's the players that actually were traded, like Kales was said, the game of the last minute trade. Kales, what other kind of intels do you got for us for the game?
Okay, so for the Packers offense, they are going to get into a 12 personnel. Some of the things to know about, they do start off playing fast, then they kind of fade out. Their first 15 is really good. After that, you can basically flow with them. One thing you got to be aware, not aware, but you gotta watch is their tight ends. That's where their bread and butter is, with Tucker Kraft and John Fitzpatrick. They're going to be a problem. It's the team's biggest threat. They attack, block, play in the line of scrimmage, and will disrespect the Cowboys pass rush. About their quarterback, Jordan Love, he can be pressured. He can run. He doesn't set his feet. He's not accurate on crossing routes. He will throw off his back foot, miss throws, yet he has made some completions. He can stretch and extend a play. Now, their O-line has been compromised, having to move some guys around. Their guys aren't completely healthy. Their best lineman has an oblique injury. There's questions if he'll play, but he has been ruled out. This is an O-line you can attack. Their interior is their weakest link. Their offensive tackle is really where it's at for the numbers of pressures you can get. Their center and right are not playing really well. However, I don't think the Cowboys defense will get pressure. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. It's hard to say that we will.
Right.
Well, we won't get any pressure and we won't get any resistance either, because apparently we got like 98 points scored on us in the first 3 games.
Exactly. So their right tackle, Brent Banks, on their practice squad can wipe the floor with our defense. Jordan Morgan will be playing left guard. The rookie backup Belton will be playing right tackle, and Sean Ryan will be playing right guard. Their running and passing game can be shut down both with our interior D linemen. One thing one thing they like to do is take shots on second downs, probably something shorter on third downs, and go for it on fourth downs. They do cover set just to make Jordan Love hold the ball a little bit longer. They do gap exchanges, which is slants, stunts, and up fronts that can mess up their their whole offensive line due to the moving around with the players. Their running back Josh Jacobs is a formidable back, and he's a dangerous bulldozer in the red zone. He is definitely an all-around back. Their receiver core run good routes. I have to give them that. The concepts that the Packers run is man coverage. Has to be on point. Oh, our man coverage has to be on point. Personnel wise, Cowboys are not in a position to play man. There are running really deep and underneath routes. You can play downhill with them. They are a dink and dunk type of offense, and they are perfectly fine with that. Their wide receiver rookie Matthew Golden is good, but Dontavian Wicks is the menace, and the Cowboys has not done good covering slot receivers.
Hey, I'm telling you, Trey. I'm telling you, Matthew Golden was available in my money league this week. I went and I grabbed him, and I will play him tonight because why? Because our defense is trash. Now, I would be surprised if our defensive coordinator actually makes some adjustments, but Bob had a great comment here. Let's scroll back to it. He says, watch me lose my mind if we stay in zone all game, because not only you gotta, I think this might be Matthew Golden's coming out party, because you remember, Bob, we all thought Jerry and them might draft Matthew Golden. I think he was the fastest running back in the combine this season.
He's a wide receiver.
Yeah. I don't, I also thought he was available when we were about to pick too. So I think we were all, you know.
He was. We passed on him.
Yeah.
So imagine how we're going to get torched if our defense gets torched by Matthew Golden tonight. If you played Matthew Golden tonight in your lineups, do me a favor, leave a comment below. I'm banking on it, baby.
I have him like in two of my fantasy leagues.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the big thing here is the fact that we are, if I'm not mistaken, 0-3 whenever CeeDee Lamb is not in the game. That's not a good thing. Granted, I think it's easy to take that information and run with it when you realize we didn't really have a George Pickens as a second wide receiver through any of those times that we didn't have CeeDee Lamb. We now effectively have a guy who could probably come in and take over for him in some way. Now, granted, he's not running the same routes that CD was running. He probably won't have the same packages, but I guarantee you this entire week they have been saying and making sure that he's going to be a star receiver tonight. Because I mean, and that's not even what I think that we need to do in order to win the game if we think we're going to win this game. But the fact that we've got someone like Pickens to come in and slide in there with CD out is a big deal, because we don't do very well without CeeDee Lamb in the game.
Yeah.
Kels, I got a question for you. How do you think this Cowboys running game is going to stand up, especially now with Tyler Booker going out, looking like on injured reserve, and TJ Bass getting the call up? Do you think we're going to see, I know you addressed it and said Brock Hoffman, there'd be no drop off, but now we're adding TJ Bass to this running game. Do we foresee Javonte Williams holding up this? I mean, because you take a look at his 5.3 yards per carry. I mean, dude is hauling the ball. But with Micah Roman tonight, do you think the Cowboys with this offensive line change is going to be able to continue with this run game with Javonte Williams?
They have to run the ball with what they're doing. I'm gonna finish answering your question, but there our inactives, of course, is CeeDee Lamb, Tyler Booker, Damone Clark, Jaden Blue, Ajani Cornelius, and Jay Toia.
Damone Clark, because he's been real solid this year. Now he's.
I'm thinking they might be putting Maris Leafau in. That's the only thing I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for that starting lineup to come in.
And we've got Clowney on a pitch count, right? He's going to be in doing some.
Yeah, and then we will see some Clowney tonight too, right?
He is active. So.
Crazy.
So with our offense, they got to slow this game down and get into a 12 personnel, the same thing that the Packers is doing. The tight ends has to get involved. If I was Clayton Adams and Shoddy. I will put Fergie in the middle. As a matter of fact, add in Brevin Spanford along with Fergie and Pickens. They have to lean into the run. They cannot abandon the run at all. So yeah, I would insert the 12 personnel and move them, and I will move their defense off of the ball. Has sustainable drives to run their defense down. Don't count out throwing on first down. QB1 has to use his cadence on the Packers' edgy defense. The wide receivers should not allow the Packers secondary to set the tone. They have to be aggressive.
I agree.
Yeah.
Now, aggressive is definitely, and I'm glad that's a great segue because I want to, we're going to go around the board here, share our keys to winning. Although we do have Green Bay winning around the panel here today. That was put out before the Micah trade, before the CD injury or anything like that. But in terms of this game, the key for me is going to be the Cowboys are going to have to get out aggressive on offense. And we cannot get down behind a score or two scores because these last couple of games, especially with New York and Chicago getting behind and coming. I mean, it's been a crazy week in the NFL, but I know one thing's for sure. If the Cowboys come out like Javonte gives up the baby like we did against Cleveland and it sets the tone, they're going to have to come out and get some scores fast on the board, especially against this defense. So if you take a look at the numbers on NFL.com, you'd be like, well, I mean, the Cowboys are actually averaging more points per game, almost 100 yards more per game, averaging it just a little bit more than them. So it looks like it could be done. I mean, the Cowboys are putting up significant numbers. So my key to the win today for the Cowboys is going to be getting out the gate fast and not getting behind in the score column.
Yeah, that's going to have to happen. There's absolutely no way we can sit around and really what kind of freaks me out is I guess it would be worse if we were at Lambeau, but there's really nothing that we gain out of playing at home. I don't know. There's been very few points in my life where home field was an advantage for us simply because I feel like our fans just sit on their hands or they're just too worried about how they look. And I don't know. It's a weird situation. We're nothing like Seattle. I know that. But at the same time, I really would like to see the fans come out tonight and try and get a little bit louder than usual, man. It would be a great surprise to see. That's not my key to anything.
Hey, I commend them if they're there tonight because Packers are 6-0 at AT&T Stadium. We've seen some shellackings. Kales was sharing a few years back about the game that we squandered away and gave to the Packers there. But I commend you if you're there tonight.
It's going to be a sea of green.
You got your stars on because it's gonna be some fireworks, I think, tonight. And especially with all things considered, this is all everybody has been talking about all week is waiting all day for Sunday night. But let me throw the ball to Kels and Bob. What are you guys' keys, do you think, to winning this game tonight for the Cowboys, although we got the Packers across the board winning?
Besides keeping Dak clean, don't let Jordan Love run. Keep him in the pocket, playing backwards, and make sure he's throwing off balance. That's the only one I have.
Yeah, definitely keeping Dak upright. I think he's been sacked 5 times this year. And with Micah roaming, I mean, per Mike Fisher, Dak Prescott is the best quarterback coming into week 4 at escaping the pressure. I don't know, do we see Dak get out on his wheels a lot? Now we got those 2 changes up on the offensive line. It's a lot of questions, and this first quarter is going to tell us a lot. And what do you think your key to the Cowboys winning tonight might be, Bob?
Yeah, you folks are exactly right with what you're saying. We have to pay attention and keep reminding ourselves that this is a rebuilding year. I know we want everything to be rolling and flowing like it is. It's just not the case. Another thing is we've talked about this a few times. None of our starters played in preseason. So the team that I thought we were against the Eagles is probably not the team we are.
Hey, and to not to really discredit our secondary, but a lot of folks are coming over the fact you got to remember Jalen didn't throw that many yards in that game. And, we came out thinking, our secondary is back and yada, 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 yada. But when you peel it back a little further, Jalen didn't really throw the ball that much.
You didn't need to.
But we do both get Deron Bland and Trayvon Diggs back tonight, I think, for the first time this season. Right, Kels?
Yeah. And, we have been impatiently waiting to see both of them on the field together. So this will be a time that we will see it. I can't remember who posted whatever the comment was about zone.
Yeah, that was Bob. He said that he's going to lose his mind.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah,
there was no zone changes.
Okay. Well,
there you go.
Yeah,
I mean, we're not equipped for full-time man. I understand that, but that does not mean that we need to roll like that the whole time.
I mean, because doesn't that really give the offensive coordinator on this side of the ball, like, they're not going to change it, just keep going at them.
Well, one thing I do know about the Packers, they do heavily play zone. So as far as us Flus, we'll play majority zone with the little man. Single high and man, in my opinion, single high and man coverage are definitely not an option, especially Donovan. When it comes to Donovan Wilson, I will cease and desist him doing single high safety. That is not his position. The secondary as a whole, again, will be tested. They need to be physical and press them at the line of scrimmage. When it comes to Kaiir Elam, after I've watched some of his his Buffalo Bills taping and what he has done with us from preseason till now, Kaiir Elam, he's more of a man coverage cornerback than zone, just like with Trayvon Diggs. It would be better to match him up with their tight end Tucker Kraft. However, man is not an option. And one thing I can say with Kaiir Elam, the reason why he's getting toast is because we don't have no pass rush.
Yeah, definitely. So, and that exposed the secondary. I've heard that too as well. With no pass rush, the DBs are working overtime. But I'm curious to see. Hopefully, we get some kind of cover tonight with Bland and both Diggs back. We're going to need it because Jordan Love loves to throw the ball, pun intended. Right. You got Romeo Dobbs. You got Tucker Kraft. Now, like I said, insert Matthew Golden. I think Matthew Golden might have a career night tonight. But thank you, Eric Taylor, for those 1,400 stars. I appreciate you tapping in with those stars right there.
Hey, man, getting back to the question, the keys for me, honestly, I mean, besides the fact that we were, I think, fooled about what our team looked like in the first week. We didn't get tested by a quarterback through the air, only by the legs, and we got burned by him. Right. And we've seen him be able to throw really, really good. I mean, Jalen Hurts isn't a bad quarterback in any way, but regardless, I think offensively today for me, I need to see a running game, and I need to see a running game stuck to. Just as Kels was pointing out, the statistics are all there. Javonte Williams is doing damn good. Just as Dak is doing damn good in terms of effectiveness in the top 5 of the league right now.
This Cowboys offense is ranked 3rd in yards in the league right now, 393 a clip.
It needs to be, and most of us can agree with the amount of runs and the effectiveness of the run from Javonte Williams. We did not need to see CeeDee Lamb have the ball handed to him last week. But again, this is all some weird shit. It's all new stuff. They're trying stuff out. It was a freak accident. Stuff happens. But on the defensive side of the ball, I think we need to see A+ performance from cornerbacks and safeties. If we're going to run zone and we're going to have cornerbacks that release wide receivers to safeties, and the safeties better know where the hell they need to be. And I know that we were talking about Elam not being a zone guy, but let me tell you this: if you're not being a man guy, if you're zone or man, if you specialize in one of them, it shouldn't mean that you suck in the other one. And from what I'm seeing from a lot of these cornerbacks, including Diggs, is that they don't have the makeup speed that it takes for a cornerback in order to get back with somebody if they happen to burn you. And that's what I'm worried about. So the corners and safeties need to be a factor today. If we are looking for anything today, we have to lean on the fact that we've got Diggs and Bland out there starting for us.
Caitlin's tapping in here with some context, Kales. We get this verified. Diggs not starting. Yeah. Cowboy Shoddy hinted at change. Looks like Edom, Bland, and ready to start with Diggs rotating in and out.
That's cool. I don't think Diggs was ready anyway. I don't think he was ready to come back. And I think a lot of us said that. I think, including you, Kels. I think we were like, yo.
I think we all said that. There's a real question. Is he ready? Yeah. They say on paper, is he ready? But is he really ready?
But not only if he's ready or not, again, Trayvon Diggs is a man press cornerback, especially when the Green Bay Packers play zone on offense and defense.
Well, I
And
know that's the crazy part, though. If we understand this as fans, I mean, you know, Matt Eberflus was talking about practice this week and stuff like that. I don't think I played that clip of what Matt Eberflus was saying. Y'all think I should go get that? Because he was like, we had the best practice ever yesterday in case you weren't there.
We'll see.
And he said that's all.
That's why I'm not wearing a Dak jersey today, because I know that Dak is going to do what Dak needs to do. I'm wearing a Darren Woodson jersey right now for the simple fact that I need my defense to step up and do what we used to do back in the days, which was just lock down and be effective in corners and safety positions. We don't need to lock everyone down, but please don't get burnt by 10 yards anymore. I don't want to see that shit tonight, man. That's not what our team's about, man. And if we get ripped again tonight, every week that we get ripped is another week Eberflus has got his job on the line.
Linebacker rookie Shamar James is taking the place of Damone Clark. I think Shamar James should have been rolled in like week 1 or week 2. But that's just my opinion. But
here was Kenny Clark asked about if this game meant anything to him this week, and here's his response as we talked about who might have the better game, Kenny Clark or Micah Parsons defensively. Let us know in the comments below. Here's Kenny Clark remarks.
Say it again.
Is it personal? Is this game personal for you? Do you take it?
Nah, it ain't personal to me. Like I said, like it's about us going 1-0 this week. You know, and that's my goal. Like I said, I mean, you call it what it is. It's definitely been it's a connection, and I've been there 9 years. So I mean, of course, it's emotion. You know, I'm gonna have a lot of family here and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to help the Cowboys get a win.
Because everybody is talking about Micah's return, but I think we're kind of glossing over the fact that Kenny Clark is facing his old team, and that's why I brought up that question about who would have the better game or not, because the Cowboys have not been able to stop the run as we've been getting gashed.
Well, we can make a prediction right now. We can say who's going to have more sacks, or we can say who's got more sacks and who's got more run stops, because although we know Micah's not great at it, he does stop the run sometimes.
Well, I mean, Micah has 1.5, and Clark has 1 sack currently going into this game. So if one gets one and one doesn't get the other, then.
But he's been racking up in the pressures. That's where
there's off statistic stuff that both of those positions bring. That's what makes it so hard to compare to, because again, as a defensive tackle, being able to take 2 blocks up so that your end can get past somebody is something they don't write down on the scorecard or anything like that. It's not even a statistic that's being recorded. Right. It's those weird things that they do that are just not. It's not a loving position, but it's one of the most important ones.
Right. And BG, and when you was talking about as far as with Jordan Love, we have to put pressure on him, and Flus can take part of that because Flus can manufacture pressure. Problem is we haven't seen it at all.
I'm about to say, what pressure do you talk about?
Hopefully we see it.
But the thing is, it's going to be a lot of hero ball, and when it comes to Kenny Clark, he'll put the pressure, you know, if it's not in Flus's plan. But and the one thing about Flus, he doesn't want to blitz. He can blitz, but he doesn't want to blitz. He can't continue to play 98% zone and continue to rush 4 men. Now, when it comes to like if they're going to have between Kenny Clark and Micah Parsons, trading Micah, it improves the run defense because we have Kenny Clark in that position. The downside is it allowed other teams not to run the ball, just throw it. So they have been throwing the rock.
Well, Bob brought it up earlier about running zone. So if this game, if we continue to see zone, if we continue to get torched, we don't see any adjustments, we don't get any pass pressure like we need to on Love. I mean, are we calling for his head after this week? Let's hear what our DC Matt Eberflus had to say about practice this week, trying to avoid the obvious elephant in the room.
Kyle Archer with ESPN. You mentioned guys buying in. How much how much do you believe guys are buying into what they're being taught, what they're being told?
I really can only evaluate what's on the practice field. So if you're at yesterday's practice, it was one of our better practices of the year. in terms of our execution, the communication, the hustle was physical. Wednesday pad practice. So that's all I can really do is evaluate that. So it looked good yesterday.
So
So when it gets to the game, why doesn't it carry over at times?
Yeah, I just think it's growth, growing. Like we said, it's, we have, played 3 games. These guys are in a new system, and I think it's just growth. It's just a maturation of the defense, and I think the guys are doing a good job with that. Has it been where we want it to be so far? No, it hasn't. Have we been disappointed sometimes? Yeah, we have. But it's important that we just stay consistent, stay in the process, evaluate the performance on the practice field, make the corrections, and then make it better too, as we go forward, like we said.
I don't know.
Look, man, listen.
I don't know.
Cowboys universe, man. If we are expecting an evaluation of our defense based on what our offense does to practice against them, our offense to do against our defense, then we're already losing. There's no way that we can simulate anything that the Green Bay offense is going to do because we don't have the same players to do that stuff. I think that was a little weird to say. And almost
I think he was just trying to avoid. He was trying to avoid, like, I don't want to look at all of that film tape. Well, I just want to talk about practice this week because I don't want to get roasted over that other stuff. But Kels, what do you think about what Eberflus had to say? Is he going to mix it up this week? Because I guarantee if we get the same result,
I
both going to be coming for Flus's neck.
Well, what I said, and I'm going to address that too. I did mention as far as with the defense, they are going to majority do zone with a little bit of man. The thing is how much zone and how much man. And I've said for the past the last 4 weeks, if you want to count this one, that Flus will have to tailor his game plan based on the teams we're playing. So if we're coming up on a team that plays predominantly man, then that's what we have to do, play man coverage. But the way that he drafted, and I'm not going to take a shot at it, at the player. The reason why we're doing so much zone when it comes to the cornerback, because we drafted a cornerback that is heavily zone. Here's the issue. We do not know when he will be revved up to play.
You talking about Savon Rebel?
And there we go. And then we have another cornerback in the room that is zone as well. Now, is there any tracking or any updates on Savon Rebel as we talk about the defensive back situation here? I heard that they're hoping for him to be cleared by week 5, but that doesn't mean he will play in week 5.
And what about Demo? I'm hearing maybe Demo might be getting sped up. Is it still looking like Thanksgiving? Because folks are concerned about Demo in terms of linebackers
They're still saying Thanksgiving, but honestly, I honestly don't see him being revved up to play until the December 4th game against Detroit Lions. Okay. But to answer your question, as far as giving, after the Bears debacle about, and I was saying it too. Oh, we need to get rid of Flus, fire him. Who we're going to replace him with?
Oh, okay, good question. That would be next, but
that's always the question, right? Because
how we do. Everybody's point. Everybody wants to blame. Eberflus is the low hanging fruit.
Because the thing is, and I had to remember this too. When Flus came back into the organization, I was expecting a lot because
I was too.
I remember Flus back from the old Cowboys. Yeah. He brought in Sean Lee.
He had Jalen Smith and LVE, best tandem almost at one point.
DeMarcus Ware. I mean, the list goes on. But he also brought people that was let go when he was, which is a lot on the defense. So we have a lot of those coaches that came from Chicago Bears with us that was let go. But my thing is, Cowboys Nation, that's why I said it's a toxic, emotionally irrational.
That's why I love it. That's why I love it. We're so emotional.
They always they always talk stuff, but they don't think things through. You're asking Fire Flus, who's going to come in, do a whole brand new playbook for a team by
Hey,
week 5?
I've been
Jerry
playing
Jones said,
Madden.
"Fuck it, he'll do it."
I've been playing Madden for a long time, man. I think I could do it. I think I can do it in a big
No,
way.
we're talking
Jerry
about
said,
I'm
"Fuck
just
it."
playing. I'm just
Jerry
playing.
said, "Fuck it." He gonna be the DC.
Kel's gonna lose her mind. I was just playing.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it ain't. It's not
gonna
something.
be-
There's no talent pool that you can pull from. I mean, hell, there's a restaurant right now that I've been working at for 11 years that could use people that we can work at, but nobody's available. It's just one of those things. Who are you gonna bring in, man? You're not gonna
Hey.
slide someone up, because if they were better than the person who was there, they wouldn't have been behind them.
Right.
Gotcha.
And we have to get Maris Leofow involved. And I'm trying to figure out, why did they take him out so quickly?
Yeah, I seen him on
Was
there
he
a couple
sick?
plays last
Was he
game.
sick?
No,
He wasn't. I thought he was sick. I heard something.
no. They moved him out of the actual linebacker core, and they put him in special teams.
Yeah, speaking of Flus, I mean, let's talk about Jack Sanborn, this guy he brought from Chicago, the green dot middle linebacker. I mean, how's his? I mean, in terms of evaluating this linebacker core, I mean, have we seen any kind of production at him? Does he look like the leader of the defense? And Nias is asking, Sanborn is Fluis's guy, and he ain't it. Leofow played and looked like a solid up-and-comer last season at linebacker. But yeah, I think there's been some politics with who's starting and who's playing and all that stuff, as we see Jaden Blue not even suiting up again.
Yeah.
There's some politics. Is there some politics going on in the locker room with the lineups and things, or is it all about the competing mantra, Kels?
I think that, like they say, compete every day. That's their motto for the season. But like I said before, with this brand new coaching staff, not only Flus, and I'm not too upset about with what Shadi is doing. You have, like I said, you have to tailor the game plans based on the teams you're playing. So let's say, okay, we're seeing Javonte Williams right now, but let's say we rolling up on another team, Jaden Blue will be perfect for this. I'm just saying, if they were rolling in Jaden Blue, I'm just naming.
Well, I mean,
players.
we still got to see Maffa come back. Hasn't he been on the injured reserve? I think he's due to come back pretty soon, right?
Him and Mingo has one more game to sit out before.
Oh, that's right. Mingo's ramping up back too as well. We're gonna need all that help we can get.
But you know what? I'm gonna tell you some things that is not weirding me out, but has me concerned when it comes to this Packers defense. They have only allowed 170 yards total after contact. They rushed the passer very well. My frat brother, love him dearly, but I'm not going to love him today. Rashawn Gary, he wears number 52. He is actually a 7 and 9 tech, but he lines up as a 15 tech sometimes, which is very scary. Their linebacker, Quay Walker, Edgerton Cooper, who I think we should have got with that trade, are a part of their rush package. They are a very disciplined team. They stay in their lanes. They cover very well. They play a 4-man front, including Cal Brooks, Devontae Watts, and Parsons. Lucas Van Ness was their starter before Parsons came to town. They will come up in the line and fake like they're going to blitz. They stunt very well. They will loop around to the outside. They will also do tackle in stunts. They play assignment and alignment football. They don't give up a lot of plays. Their front, middle, and back play very fast, as well as having lane integrity. You'll see a lot of combinations and different looks. You'll see some 2 high safeties. They are a cover 2 defense team, but they do play some cover 1, cover 3, and cover 6. which I was telling you is Dak's arch nemesis.
Yeah, the
that
one Vic Fangio ran. Yeah.
yeah, to confuse the quarterback. So many multiple looks, which is scary. If it's cover three, they want everything and everyone in front of them. Everything they are, our defense is not. Plain simple. They have been using Parsons across the line of scrimmage. This defense will play you in man coverage. They are a weak. Oh, I'm sorry. Where they are weak is their interior, which I mentioned earlier. They are missing Kenny Clark, who bull rushes. They are more vertical than anything. Their secondary benefits from how well their front do. Their defense doesn't like to expose their secondary.
Yeah, kind of like the opposite of the Cowboys. Our front rush doesn't allow our secondary to get any. Yeah,
exactly.
That part.
They are a single high defense. Their defensive backs don't allow anyone to get past them without contact. They will put their hands on you to knock you off your timing and path. Because they want to get physical with you. Xavier McKinney is their good safety. Just like their offense, their defense is also dink and dunk.
All right. Well, with that being said, as we get ready to round down here, it's prediction time. And like we said, the Cowboys are underdogs at home by 7 points, where the Packers are currently 6-0. Now, all of us have the Packers winning. My prediction is I think it's going to be some shootouts tonight. As you've seen on the NFL.com, all of the stats, there's a lot of yards between, almost 700 yards of offense between both of these teams. I think the Packers win 35-21. I think the Cowboys get to a slow start, which I said my key to the game was Cowboys are going to need to get out in front on the score quick. We can't allow us to get down. But let me throw it to Bob and Kels. My prediction, 35-21. What's y'all's prediction? Let us know down in the comments below what yours is too, and we'll circle back around on the post-game show and see who's closest.
Yeah, I've got 28-14 Green Bay.
I'm conflicted. I'm so conflicted because after looking at the news and notes I ran off and just the past games, if you could cue up that video with Michael Parsons, because that running back that I wanted us to get, Deshaun Jenkins, took the soul out of Michael Parsons.
Are you saying that's what you want Javonte Williams to do tonight to Michael?
You got to run at him. You got to run at him. It's always been his deal.
And somebody said that down in the comments below. It says, "Yo, we got to run the ball right at Michael."
We know what
Parsons.
His knocks are. His knocks are you run at him or double or chip him enough, he'll get mentally taken out of the game because he just gets pissed.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at that video Kels is talking about. I think it's not a chip, it's a chunk.
That's more than a chip. That's a chunk.
That was more.
That's more than a chip. That's a chunk.
One more time. We need more than a chip. We need a chunk tonight, Cowboys. Bob said he got the Green Bay Packers winning 28-14.
That's more than a chip. That's a chunk.
Are you still conflicted? What's your predictions, Kels?
If the Cowboys can contain Jordan Love and our defense can do something with these tight ends that they have, that freaking Tucker Craft, the Cowboys can pull off a win for the first time at AT&T Stadium.
I would love it. I'd love to be wrong. I would love for them to win and shock the world tonight. Because could you imagine what they're going to say this week if the Cowboys beat the Pack with Micah?
There's a safety in guessing. There's always a safety in guessing and predicting against the Cowboys, because if they shock you, you're good.
So that's where I'm conflicted, because they can pull off this win. If they do everything. I say keep him contained, keep him off his square, keep him off balance. If he throws on his back foot, that should be enough for Kenny Clark to come out at him and sack him. And now you got put James Houston on them. And now that Shamar James is coming in, rush him. We can win 31-27. But I'm gonna give it to the Packers, and it's gonna be I'm hoping it could be a shootout because last week was a blowout. I'm gonna give the Packers 35, Cowboys 31.
Over under is 49.5 points. So that's a lot of points.
Thank you, Eric. You see why I'm totally conflicted. You see,
well, I think we're all conflicted. We're 3 Cowboy fans here saying that Green Bay is going to win. So it's been conflicted with the Big 3 from the jump.
Yeah. I ain't happy about it in any way, shape, or form.
I don't like it either. That's why I was like, I hope I am wrong this season.
But the thing is, because I'm basing everything off of the first 4 weeks, because this is the first quarter of the season. So looking at what the Cowboys have done and look at what the Packers has done, and then how Cleveland Browns has the #1 defense this year, and how they exposed on both sides of the ball the Packers, it added more confliction.
Well, Cleveland got some points ran up on their ass today too, I think, as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously Garrett's a monster, so we don't have Garrett, so that's one great thing to have on a defense that's locking down your line, and then you got cornerbacks that are able to jump these patterns because your quarterback's throwing the ball so fast because they got a man in their face. So that's really what we're missing from Micah. But again, that doesn't necessarily bring us the ability to offensively score points. And again, the fact that we don't have CD and that we tend to go away from our run, that's freaking me out.
And BG, if you could throw that picture of me and my frat brother real quick.
Kales creeping with the enemy.
So this is my frat brother. This is their defensive end, Rashawn Gary. I love him, but I'm not going to love him today.
He's a problem.
But I do want us to get this win because both of our sorority sisters, someone who I've been close to before I became a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, and she was a Cowboy fan herself. I'm trying to do this without. She lost her battle to cancer on Thursday.
Sorry.
So, even though she is our sorority sister, I want the Cowboys to win this game for her. So, yeah. Okay. Woo, Jesus.
Well, there you go. Maybe stranger things have happened. It's been a crazy week this week. Just like Sarah said, my picks are straight doo-doo this week, so not doing very good. So maybe that might translate tonight for the Cowboys to stink it up and get a win over Green Bay, and they could doo-doo it up too. But my girl Kale's got the Pack 35-31 over the boys. My guy Bob got the Pack 28-14, and I got them 35-21. Let us know in the comments below. We'll be tapping in at halftime for the halftime show, and we will be here for the post-game show. But stranger things have happened, y'all. Maybe we'll all be wrong today this game, and the Cowboys finally get a win at AT&T Stadium, Bob.
I got my improbable prediction thrown up there earlier that I think Clowney's going to have 2 sacks tonight.
Ooh, we sure need it because we didn't get any sacks this whole season. But
prediction, it'd be great, man. It's one of those times where you've got a guy who people are saying a little washed up, a little past his prime, comes in and shocks everybody because they don't really care about blocking him too much. That might be something that happens, man. So, I just want to throw that out there. I don't know if it's an extra $500 or not, but it'd be cool for one.
We'll see. Bob said 2 sacks for Clowney. We need all the sacks we can get. Come on, Kenny Clark. Let's go. I need a sack, and Micah to get none. We'll see y'all on the post-game show here with the Big 3 after the Sunday night football game.
Turn out the lights. The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.